Hey guys, it's Rick Schirmer from LaunchViral, here to help you learn how to go viral and learn the best practices from top influencers and top brands at the top of their game. I've spent my entire career helping brands go viral, the last 20 years since the MySpace days, and I'll tell you what, it's been an incredible journey. Things are ever changing, so stay tuned, like and subscribe, and look forward to seeing you here. My name is Rick Schirmer. I am the founder of LaunchViral. I'm super excited, as I was telling the team here earlier about this webinar. I really, one of our core things is I've spent my career working on campaigns, launching viral campaigns for a living. And one of the core things for us is that I've never really had an opportunity to put a spotlight on all the amazing influencers that we work with. We work with so many incredible people like you guys, influencers and creators who are launching their brands. And so the idea here is that we're doing an influencer spotlight where we let the influencers who are working really hard to launch their brands elevator pitch their brand to the community, to the overall community here. And we've got in our community, we've got investors, we've got brand managers, we've got a bunch of other influencers and creators. And so the cool thing is, about this is that this is an opportunity for you guys to collaborate, to meet each other, to learn about opportunities to work with each other. So that is what we're here for. And this is the very first influencer spotlight. We will do another influencer spotlight very soon, and we'll be featuring you if you applied. And then we may get some time here to let you go live on screen, towards the end of this as well, just depending how the flow goes. So anyway, enough of all that, because the cool thing is we've got right here Dr. Nathan and Jessica to give us a little bit of a kickoff on what you guys are up to. Jessica, I'm going to give the baton to you first, since we were just talking a little bit earlier. Tell me about what you're working on and how others can maybe participate. If you can give us just a few minutes, and then we'll do the same thing with Dr. Nathan after, and then we'll do a kind of a broader Q&A.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, and it was fun talking to you, Rick, before. And I know sometimes we go through life, it's like, who am I? How do I activate who I am? But I feel like my role is to be an activator, somebody that just brings people to be the best and better version of who they are, and that I would leave them better than found them. And so I actually just kind of want to, even while I share any of this stuff, just anybody be thinking about how it is that we can support each other, how it is that we can serve each other, how it is that we can collaborate. That's actually why I'm here. And so I want to ask you guys a question, is just to think of a time when maybe you felt really burnt out, or you felt that in your leadership, whether it be personal, it's affected your personal life, it's affected your team, it's affected those that you serve, it's affected you in your business, whatever it is that you are up to, and that's affected you, And I've actually had a season where I had a really bad burnout years and years ago, and I went all over the world and I did service work for a year. And that changed everything in me. Wow. And so I came home, I started a nonprofit, which I have today. It's called Wholeness Journey. I've started a few, but this is the one that I have now. And this is called Wholeness Journey, where it's essentially a yoga and wellness retreat and a service trip. So the more that we love ourselves, then we can go back out and be of service to others. And we help those affected by trauma, human trafficking, a lot of abusive situations. And so we do it all over. And it also led me into this place of realizing, wow, when people have a transformational experience, they also want to do something different with their life. And now I coach women. I have a coaching business on how to take and become the best version of yourself while creating your own business or creating a nonprofit, something that actually makes an impact in the world with who you are and being of influence to those around you. And something that's so cool too, with all of it, I found that everybody I've talked to, whether it being a coaching client, whether it being a leader, whether it being one of the organizations that I work with, everybody wants to go to a sanctuary of a place. They want to leave where they are, and they want to rest, and they want to refuel, and they want to heal in their body, mind, heart, and spirit. So I'm even working on right now a leadership home out here in Spain, up by the ocean and the mountains, where leaders can come and have that sanctuary in their body, mind, heart, spirit.
Are you in Spain right now?
Yeah, I'm in Spain right now.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, what time is it there? I don't even know.
Yes. So back and forth between Spain and LA. But
wow. I thought my back and forth between Vegas and LA was a schlep, because Spain and LA is a lot.
You know, we gotta do, and I love it.
That's
I'm half
amazing.
Spanish, my mom's from Spain, and then my dad's from the US, so it
wow.
helps. Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you so many questions. What is your core business model? That's kind of like one of my main ones, is like, how do you make money doing that? And the reason I'm asking is because, and we'll get into a deeper Q&A, but you know, can people work with you? Like, how could I hire you, or how could somebody hire you that's watching now?
Yeah. So right now, with the coaching business that I have, if you have a heart, you're just like, I'm ready to turn, you know, whatever your influential piece that you guys are all influencers. You guys all want to maybe do something more with it and make it a larger impact. I help you take that dream and that idea and create it into a business that is profitable. So that's my main source of income. And then also with our wholeness journey nonprofit side, you can come as a participant and join on the actual retreat service trip. So there's those two.
That's amazing. I love that. That's very, very cool. Anna, ladies first. So we're Dr. Nathan, don't worry, we're getting to you, buddy. I think what you're working on is super cool. So I'm excited to hear more about that. But Anna, what's up, girl? It's so good to have you here. Thank you for joining.
Well, in 2017, I started a women empowerment blog, and I started interviewing ladies on their journeys and how to find out what they've done to turn their their pain into power.
Wow.
And yeah. I've been doing that for years. And I think that that's really what started. I started doing like summits where I would focus on yoga and meditation and all the things. And I would focus on the one little portion. But then I was like, I want to interview everybody. So I just started reaching out, and
you interviewed my wife, by the way.
Yes, I did. It was absolutely amazing. And you know, I think it's the fact that you just start. I started interviewing. I started, you know, my social media journey and building my platforms. And now I'm on my 113th episode. And I've already had it for 7 or 8 years. And I've grown to a whole nother level, because once that door started opening, and then you start getting into, you know, the interviewing and the sharing, then you want to start inspiring and writing and creating a whole nother avenue to where I do life coaching as well. And I help individuals learn to take a leap and not be scared and just start. That's
I love that. I love that. I'm so proud of you. And you interviewed my wife. You interviewed my wife, I guess it was a couple of years ago, and wrote such a nice piece. And she's, you know, the pain and the power. I love the pain and the power, because I know everybody's been through their own pains, and you know, those pains can really stop you from launching. They could stop you from doing the thing, because you could wallow in it and it could hold you back. And then even worse, sometimes when we do unhealthy things, I know we do unhealthy things to soothe those pains, then they make it even worse, right? Because then it really, with drugs or alcohol or with relationships, sometimes relationships can be great and sometimes not, right?
That's right.
There's things that you could do that would create really diversion off the path of what God or the universe, whatever you believe is intended for you, you know? And so or you intended for yourself. So I think that's really amazing. So thank you so much. Now, quick little thing. Just a reminder to everybody who's here. You know, this is an influencer spotlight. Influencers are elevator pitching. This is, you know, their brands. There are investors on the call. There are influencers. You know, we have a very big network of brands that we work with. So LaunchViral, just again, for some people that might be getting here a little late, LaunchViral, we specialize in doing and launching viral campaigns. And now, you know, we've just got such an awesome community of people that, if influencers that we've worked with, we wanted to have an opportunity to let the influencers collab and meet each other, and because we don't really do physical events, and we wanted people to meet each other, and then also learn how they can work together and support. You guys can support each other, and then also other investors and brands from our network. We're inviting them on these as well. This is our very first one, so thanks for thanks for sticking with me through a little of my stammering and figuring out how to to do this. But this will also be on our podcast as well. So anyway, so Dr. Nathan, I said you were next, and you are next. So welcome to LaunchViral, bro. I'm real happy to have you here. You got a really cool story.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate the opportunity to come on and really tell our story. So my name is Dr. Nathan Bryan. I've been in academic medicine for 25 years, and I'm a researcher in nitric oxide. And so we make all things nitric oxide. For those of you who don't know what nitric oxide is, it's a gas that's naturally produced in the body. It regulates blood flow and circulation, oxygen delivery. It's a neurotransmitter in the central nervous system, and it's how our body fights off invading pathogens and infections. So my research has been trying to understand how the body produces nitric oxide, what goes wrong in people that can't make it, and then how do we fix that? And so my 20 years in academia and medicine is we've had several dozen issued patents and a number of discoveries, and we've launched a number of companies and brands that generate nitric oxide. So what we do is completely different than a lot of other companies. And in fact, that's what makes us unique, is that any product that we bring to market actually generates nitric oxide gas. So we know how much the human body makes in a certain period of time, and we develop product technology to completely recapitulate endogenous nitric oxide production. So our primary brand is a product called N101 for nitric oxide. The company's called Numa Nitric Oxide. But we make skincare products. This is a topical skincare product for aesthetics and beauty. It gets to the root cause of aging skin. I started in cardiology and vascular biology, trying to understand how to prevent injury from heart attack. Just like the skin or the heart, the skin's an organ. So without sufficient blood supply, then that organ fails. So what we do is we generate nitric oxide through product technology, restores blood flow, gets to the root cause of inflammation, oxidative stress, and immune dysfunction. And we basically allow for regenerative medicine for our own stem cells to mobilize and differentiate, repair and replace dysfunctional tissues and cells, and the body heals itself. So that's our story. And so my objective is to...
You got me sold, bro. I'm buying some for sure.
It's really been remarkable because it's a new product. It's a new category in skincare, because as you guys know, most skincare products are designed to mask or hide the fine lines and wrinkles, the blemishes, the age spots. What we do is we get to the root cause. You can restore blood flow, improve cellular turnover, improve collagen deposition, improve hydration, fine lines and wrinkles disappear. So that's the topical, and then we create a lozenge, a nitric oxide lozenge that we take orally. So as this lozenge is dissolving, it's generating nitric oxide gas. You can see dilation of the blood vessels within 12 seconds of putting it in your mouth. So we really create this whole...
Is this all FDA approved? Is this do you have to go through FDA approval, or is this fit into the vitamin category?
So this is our consumer line of products in our consumer business. I have a separate drug company that we're taking the same technology in through FDA clinical trials. So we've got a drug program for ischemic heart disease. We've got an Alzheimer's drug program. We're developing oral formulations for Alzheimer's disease. We've taken this topical and we're developing it as a topical drug for diabetic and non-healing ulcers. So my objective is to take nitric oxide into every major product category around the world. We've done it in nutrition, dietary supplements. We've done it in skincare. Now we're moving it through phase 3 clinical trials through the FDA.
Wow, that's incredible. Hey, congratulations on all the great work. Could you go back to school for a little bit longer and learn some more?
I'm full, yeah. My brain's full.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Well, hey, thank you so much. Okay, just another quick reminder for the people who are just joining. This is LaunchViral. This is going to be our first podcast. We're doing an influencer spotlight where we're putting the focus on influencers doing really cool things to monetize and develop their brands. As many of you guys know, many influencers are creators who have their own brand and make money just through doing posts with brands. But what we really want to do is show some people who are actually figuring out other ways to monetize and launch their brands beyond. So I think some of the work like Jessica, you do in helping people figure out how to monetize and build a business model that's sustainable. My wife is actually an influencer, as you guys probably know, Rachel McCord, and she is, I've worked on helping her with her brand over the years, and it's been really fun. It's been really fun to do that and help her think through her business model, and that's evolved over the years and stuff. So, it's a real blessing for me to be able to be a part of your all's lives in various ways. I do, as you guys know, we launch a lot of campaigns, so we have a lot of opportunities to collaborate with brands and make some dough, here and there. But I think the bigger thing is like, how do we help you guys launch really cool brands, and how do you guys meet each other and learn how to collaborate? We just want to create value in your lives, and keep the community together and growing. I kind of have a vision for us doing some events, in LA and Vegas, where we are based, down the line as well, where we bring the community together in the flesh. But this is the very first time in literally my whole career, and I've been doing campaigns since MySpace, literally like 2004, that I've actually tried to bring people together, in a way like this, outside of my wife Rachel's stuff. So this is a fun, exciting moment for me. So thanks everybody for being here. And the goal here is for you guys to collaborate. So I'd love you guys to meet each other, talk to each other, drop your name and your websites in the chat. So Anna and Jessica, and then Dr. Nathan, if you guys could drop your handles in the chat so people can reach out and collab with you directly. We're about to kind of go into a Q&A now as well, but we're gonna give you a little bit. So that brings me to last but not least. So I'm gonna give you, and I'm gonna give this. I think it's Olyasha. Am I saying your name right, Olyasha?
Yes, that's correct. Olya or Olya is fine.
How do you guys say it again?
It's Olya or Olyasha. It's either one.
Oh yeah. Well, it's so nice to meet you. I hadn't gotten to talk to you before, but we had looked at your stuff and just thought you were super cool and doing really neat things. So thanks for hopping on, and we'd love to hear your elevator pitch, just to hear more about what you're up to.
Sure. Hi everyone, and my name is Olyasha, and I'm originally from Ukraine. I've been in the US since I was 17, and I previously done. I'm sorry?
I said blessings to Ukraine.
Yeah, my family got affected by the war. My grandma, she's bedridden, and she survived the war. Like, her building was completely split in half, and her apartment remained untouched, and she got saved by miracle. And I brought her to US last year. It was very challenging. Yeah.
My gosh, so she's here now?
Yeah, she's here now, but she's bedridden, but she survived the war. It was so crazy.
Oh my gosh. God bless Grandma. Give her a hug from all of us.
Thank you.
Well, we'd love to hear more. Sorry I interrupted you.
No worries. I've done IT project management before. I started my brand back in 2017, Not Basic Blonde, and now I'm an entrepreneur, blogger, model, celebrity podcast host, fashion editor, fashion host for Fashion TV. And I also partner with huge world recognized brands. I recently partnered with Warner Brothers and Barbie movie. So my Barbie movie campaign went viral on TikTok. And also I recently went to BET. BET invited me recently to record for Kevin Hart, exclusive show for BET. So that one is still coming up. Amazing.
Yeah. That's incredible. Great job. And I gotta listen to your podcast. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to it yet, but I'm super excited too. It's called Not Basic Blonde, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. It is available on all major podcast platforms.
And what is the best way people can connect with you? What's your main? Do you have a product, or mainly just all your social and content platforms?
So I have a celebrity podcast where if someone majority of my guests are celebrities, but if some brands would like to get huge exposure, I get from 80 to 100,000 downloads per episode. So if they would like to have that, I offer packages for paid guest sponsors, and they can come on podcasts and they can showcase their products and get a huge exposure. And also I partner with huge brands to do campaigns for them. And also I have my blog, it's notbasicblonde.com. I'm launching my course on how to monetize your Instagram, how to grow your Instagram, how to promote yourself with AI, and how to use PR so you can promote yourself with AI, and of course get a lot of exposure and get in front of reporters and TV channels. So
wow, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. You get your hands full, girl. You're amazing. Where are you based? Are you based in LA?
I'm based in Atlanta, but I travel a lot, so I travel for the events anywhere mainly. So
nice. What part of Atlanta? I know Atlanta pretty well.
Buckhead.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, I stay in Buckhead quite a bit. I work with Coca-Cola and Chick-fil-A. They're LaunchViral clients, and so we're in Atlanta quite a bit. So that's really cool.
Yeah, they're not far away from my house.
Yeah, no, not too far away at all. Not too far away at all. Well, thank you so much for hopping on. I want to open up. I'm going to ask some questions myself, but I also want to open the Q&A up for everybody so we can kind of hear out. But also, just to make sure you guys have put your email addresses or your social media handles and websites in the link in the chat. Again, the main goal here is to put a spotlight on you guys, and then let other influencers, brands, and other people who are on to meet you guys and collaborate and find collaboration points and opportunities. One question for Dr. Nathan. Nathan, what do you have like for as far as working with other influencers and folks who can help? Do you have like an ambassador program, or you work with influencers?
Yeah, we do. We have an ambassador, or we call it an affiliate program. So I do 2 or 3 podcast interviews a week. And really my objective is to not sell product, but really just provide education to raise the awareness around nitric oxide. And once people understand and appreciate what this molecule is and what it can do for their health and wellness journey, then they'll find us and they'll find the products. But yeah, typically we'll offer, a discount code to the listeners of the podcast, give the podcaster, part of the commission or a code or commissions that's tied to that code, so that we can actually not only track the traffic, but reward the influencer for, helping us spread the word and provide the education.
That's awesome, dude. That's so cool. Well, they by the way, a question that came in, which I thought was really cool, which, I'll pass ticket of all of you guys, which is, how did you guys find your niche? They always say there's riches in the niches. In fact, I have a friend named Danny, I don't know if she'll be watching this or not, but she recently found her niche in, just healthy eating, I think out of her own passion. And like her Instagram was just blown up over the last 6 months. And she's getting she's only got like 60,000 followers. Again, not that that's chump change, but she's getting like millions of views on her content right now. And she's mainly focused on the Instagram platform, but she's really decided to niche out and get real specific. And like she's just kind of blowing up because she's so focused, I think, in what she's doing. How did you guys get into the niche? I'll pass it to Anna first. Anna, how did you decide to get into your niche?
I think when I first started, I did everything. Like I had 4 or 5 Instagram pages. I had all the different things that I was doing. I focused on Instagram first when I started in 2017. But I think that I was going through a divorce at the time. And I literally was utilizing other women's stories as my own personal healing and journey and inspiration. And so I literally I would dabble a little bit in other sections, but I really found what was making me happy. And that was what I did. And I noticed that whenever I was focusing on more than one thing, that I wasn't getting the results that I wanted because I was too scattered. So I literally was just listening to within and what was others were listening to and, telling me that they loved. And, when I would do posts or whatever, everybody was loving it. So I just kind of listened to the audience but it was a couple of years before I really learned what my niche was going to be. But I kept going. And now 8 years later or whatever, now I'm so focused on empowering and inspiration. But I I want to start like having a platform where I can interview men, because now I'm in a section where I want to empower all. I just don't want to focus, just on women all the time, because, I have 3 older brothers and I'm the only girl, and I'm always with men, so I don't want to leave them out either. So I've just, as the time has grown, I know that my blog and my empowerment side has just been really what I love. And that's just really how I've done it.
I feel like if they always say follow your bliss, and then the money will come, right? So if you kind of follow your bliss, it'll figure itself out. But I think transforming pain into purpose is really, is really incredible, and that's an amazing niche. I think that there's a lot of people that need that. So that's really cool.
Exactly.
Really, really cool question to pass over to Jessica, because Jessica, you're helping people figure out how to monetize and things like that too as a coach. So not just for you, but also like other people who are, again, influencers. I think that the people in our community, the people who are here, are trying to figure out how to monetize. Again, we have opportunities that we send out all the time, brands who want to do, paid posts and things like that. And that's primarily those opportunities we shoot down the pipe. But for a sustainable business model, for yourself, those are cool. I kind of feel like a lot of times with creators, like, that'd be a tough life, just making your business only off of those kind of things. I think that figuring out a sustainable business model is real key, and you help people with that, right?
Yeah, even with what you were talking about with niche and stuff, for me, I've always been multi-passionate. Even my family is like, oh my gosh, you asked Jess what she's passionate about, she's literally going to say everything. And I've come down to, at least for myself, it's that people know how worthy they are and that they're worth it. And for me, being able to realize that we all have this incredible gift on this planet, like, again, how I said, just finding that within myself of, whoa, you are an activator. Like, you just activate people to become the best version of themselves. And then how do I use who I am with what I'm good at in entrepreneurship and bringing in being the best version of yourself with wellness, and then also being of service. So everything you do is to like create a product or a business or a nonprofit or like something that really is using your story, even that pain to purpose. So we dive deep into all that stuff. So then that way, it's not like you're just building, it's something more sustainable. It's not like you're just building this product that then you're just like, I hate this now, like whatever, it didn't work. Or that service like didn't work, whatever. But we get so clear on those pieces of you, how you can then, all right, then what is a product or service that aligns with you? What is something that is of need to the world? What is, and it goes way deeper than that. So we really get into the nitty-gritty of all the possibilities. And then we hone in on the first thing that is like, okay, cool. The right now is you're going to create either this product or you're going to do this, coaching thing. You're going to do whatever it might be. And then from there, it's limitless. You can pivot so much, through that time, but to figure out who you are, what you want to create, what the world needs, and then be sustaining in that way. I think we can do so much. Wow,
I love that. Thanks for sharing. And I think, Dr. Nathan, you've kind of figured out your niche. It seems like you're the whole, by the way, is nitric oxide the same as nitrous oxide, like laughing gas?
No, completely different. I mean, yeah,
because my wife loves that stuff. Every time she goes to the dentist, she's like, hook me up when she goes to the dentist.
Yeah, no, I like to say nitrous oxide puts you to sleep, and nitric oxide kind of animates you and brings you back to life. So yeah, completely different molecules, different physiological functions.
How'd you get into your niche? I mean, this is like a very specific niche. Were you just doing your dissertation and just got hooked?
Yeah, I was a student at LSU School of Medicine in Shreveport in the 99, 2000, and a Nobel Prize had just been awarded for the discovery of nitric oxide. So we knew that it was an important molecule in human physiology and medicine, but there were still so many things we didn't know about, and that was really what kind of directed my line of research. And so I trained with the guys who won the Nobel Prize and developed my own research program as a professor of molecular medicine at University of Texas Medical School in Houston. And then from there, I went to Baylor College of Medicine. So all of that, kind of my entire professional career has been trying to understand this molecule, nitric oxide gas. It's a gas, it's produced, and once it's produced, it's gone in less than a second. So I'm still the first and only person that's ever developed a solid dose form of nitric oxide gas, a bioactive gas. So it's kind of our claim to fame, and we bring product technology to the market that actually has an effect. We've got a number of published clinical trials, 5 published clinical trials on our topical for skincare and beauty. Many clinical trials. We've gone through FDA for drug indications. We've got a number of clinical trials on some of our supplement products. So everything we do, we go through the rigor of randomized placebo-controlled clinical trials to show the community and really the masses that this product, it's not only safe, but it's very effective in what we do in terms of nitric oxide.
That's amazing, man. That's really cool. I think I think it's amazing because I think that we do a lot of beauty campaigns and work with a lot of beauty influencers, which everybody's beautiful here. I think the reality is like everybody's looking for a new thing. I was just had a dream last night. I was getting a wrinkle taken out of my forehead. I've never done anything. I put like the most basic stuff on my skin. It's really funny. I don't wash my face. I only wash it in the shower like this, and then I use like a Vino or Cetaphil, stuff you get at Target, just like whatever, fast, just kind of quick. So I apparently need something because it seeped into my dreams last night that I was trying to get my skin ironed out.
Well, what I'm going to do is if you send me everybody that's on the panel, I'll send you some free product to try. So what we find is that once you try this product, it's unlike anything you've ever used before. I've never used skincare. I'll be 50 this year, and only in the past 3 years since we launched this brand that I started using skincare. But it's really transformational.
Wow, sounds like you were on the Rick Schirmer regiment.
That's right.
Well, yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah. If you we'll shoot you. I don't know if you can send DMs. Yeah, you can send a DM on the chat. So anybody, the panelists, if you guys want to, or anybody else wants to send Dr. Nathan a DM, who's here for a free product, it sounds like it'd be an amazing moment to try something new. So that's just been invented. So, well, great job niching out, man. That's one thing I loved about yours, is real specific and then, very focused. So Oli, what about you on your niche? I mean, you do a lot of different things, but I think that, you've done a really good job of zeroing in.
So my niche is fashion and entrepreneurship. And when I started with fashion, and then I got deeper into entrepreneurship when I started my podcast. And because I've done modeling since I was 13, so I was bullied in school for fashion. That's why I read a children's book, Cutie the Unicorn, It's Okay to Be Different, to inspire our younger generation that it's okay to be different, it's okay to look different, we should never judge. So I kind of continued with my fashion niche, and entrepreneurship got into it more in 2019. But I graduated from university with business degree, and I also had career in IT project management before I launched my brand. So that was I had a lot of experience in entrepreneurship before I launched my brand. So that's why I started sharing more.
That's really cool.
But amazing. I also do beauty, wellness, healthcare. Like I do have I partner with so many like wellness brands and makeup and skincare and just other supplements. So I do those as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really great. Yeah. You're not necessarily just on one, but fashion and beauty, I feel like, and wellness kind of like are concentric rings that kind of overlap a little bit. I've found that a lot of fashion influencers, kind of like leak into beauty. My wife's more of a fashion, kind of been more of a fashion influencer herself. And then but she'll do some beauty stuff along the path. So it makes a lot of sense. There's some really great questions kind of popping in, especially from Tanya, which I think are great. I want to get back to one kind of big one that I wanted to ask is, as you guys are, launching viral, for us is, I've been doing these campaigns since MySpace, but the thing is that you guys, my thing has always been influencers have always been a very key central ingredient to getting anything launched, because it's just word of mouth. At the end of the day, the gold standard for marketing is word of mouth, and word of mouth at scale. We talked about this as a kind of little huddle before. When we think about a niche, I think of a niche as like a high school. So like fashion high school, or you've got, beauty high school. And then you've got popular people in that high school. And then you want to go viral. If you do want to go viral, you need to really focus on a niche community to go viral in, and then activate those niche influencers. But the question for me is more like, because I'm not an influencer myself, and I've never really tried to build my own influence as a creator myself personally, this is really probably the first foray into that, this podcast we're doing now. But I think it's because of my interest and passion and going, like, these creators, you guys are building amazing brands, and like how, like what are the best ways, some of the best practices to go viral or get the most engagement or grow your following? If you guys, I'd love to just get one tip, if you guys don't mind, just one tip from each of you and what you guys have been up to from a best practice standpoint. I like to say, with a playbook, I've been developing these little playbooks lately to help people just from things I'm learning. And so they're available on our website. I'm starting to publish those on launchviral.com. They're just available for free. But what's your playbook? I'll pop over to Jessica first.
Great question. I think honestly is community building, because, and we were kind of talking about this beforehand, where the people that you create as a community, at least for me, have been a part of anything I've done and then they all become best friends. They learn, they collaborate, all the things, then they become the ones that share with everyone, and from that, it's a collaborative effort where then it's not us in this forceful way of everybody needs to know who I am or needs to know what we're doing here, but people that have experienced part of, they've had life-changing experiences, and then they just want to share it. And to be honest, that's been my biggest thing, is just have a mindset of focus on the one, and then how they are going to create the ripple effect. And then, that's kind of how that's worked for me anyway.
That's really cool. I think community building is everything. So that's really cool. Do you gather your community together, for physical meetups or virtual ones like this?
Totally. So for my community, we actually have a monthly gathering like this where I'll do it's a place to really dive and connect, what hard things they're really dealing with, joys, their real life stuff. I'll usually even do some sort of awesome teaching, so then that way they're all leaving with something, and then a collaborative thing. And then we have opportunities where they could actually host an online event themselves, and then that way whatever they're up to, whether it's a teaching, whether it's a podcast, who knows, and then people can join in on that for free, and then it just creates this ripple effect. And then we do in-person events all over the states. We actually empower the leaders to create events, and then we do our homeless journey trips all over the world as well. So in person and online is the goal, and then the online place where then they can communicate all the time as well. So as much empowerment that we could do as possible.
I think it's fun. It's so neat, because I'm literally giddy just sitting here talking to you guys, because I feel like I just talked to so many influencers just remotely and on emails. And we literally just for scale purposes, we probably, I'd say at least 5,000 influencers a week hear from me on email, at least. My team can tell you guys it's probably more than that. But, we send out a lot of messages. We've got a community we've got over 500,000 influencers in our database. And, you know, we send out opportunities to the influencers that are relevant, you know, but I wanted to, you know, Jessica, like you're saying, like have like a kind of a reason and a party to continually engage people and bring value to the influencers' lives. Like we always come bearing gifts, you know, I call it Operation Santa Claus. I remember in 2009, we were doing like a Warner Brothers campaign. We're doing Harry Potter, and I told my team, like, we got to always think like Operation Santa Claus. If we're showing up to an influencer, we want to come bearing gifts. We're not here to use them. We're not here to, you know, I won't let brands, you know, I will not reach out for brands who are not bringing value to the community. So if they're hiring us to not bring value to influencers, we won't do it. I'm like, these are my relationships. These are my friends. Now that I'm actually like looking at you guys in the face and talking, it's just so cool. It's really fun. It's a neat moment for me. So thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We had another question I think popping up, but I did want to get around real fast, and we don't have a ton of time left. But anybody, I'm just going to leave it open. Does anybody else have any best practices for your playbook for how you're growing your social or growing sales? Yeah, go, Anna.
Yeah. Consistency, and I engage with my audience like all the time. And I bring them in, like Jessica was saying, community. But I'm consistent, and I'm get down on a personal level. I answer every single message, or I make sure to go out of my way for certain, you know, people, or I just make it more of on a personable level.
Yeah,
and
that's
how
awesome.
I bring it.
I'm hearing you say consistency and always engaged. So you're like every single message you're getting back to. That's amazing. I love that. And then anybody else a thought on that? I think it's just always interesting to hear like what we're.
Well, I think staying true to yourself and being authentic, people love that. When you show your personality and when you always show yourself and kind of like Anna mentioned, connect them on a personal level, but also networking is a huge part to collaborate with even some people that you admire, not just in the people on your level, but even higher ups. Just don't be afraid to reach out and don't be afraid to share attention. So you can actually ask them for advice, or like I did at first when I was starting my podcast, I was inviting them on my podcast, and that's how I built my community. And now I have over 300, the most successful entrepreneurs in the country in my network.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, thanks for sharing that. That's a really great piece of knowledge. I think the thing that you guys were saying about authenticity, is really big, because I feel like on social, like if you just from an observation standpoint, again, not that I'm a big creator myself, but I think just having an authenticity like is just what people like to engage with, you know, like, and you can just feel, right? Can you just feel when people are being authentic or not authentic? I don't know why. You can't put your finger on it. You just know. How is that? I don't know. I think it's a human thing. I'm not sure, but I think all you guys are super authentic here. We're gonna try something for the first time, because this is our first big moment here. So I think one of the questions, I think somebody here had a question and wanted to go live, and I can't remember who that was. I think it was Brandon. I think, Brandon, if you are on, we're going to try to let you go live as a presenter. So Anna, if you could let Brandon come on live. This is our first time just trying this. So I just want to give this a moment where we could actually take somebody from the audience and make them a presenter. So he wanted to go live on video. No, we did not pre-screen this. So Brandon, be cool. I hope you're awesome.
I'm going to cuss and I'm going to break every FCC violation there is. Rick, it's great to be here. Thank you. I think this is a very ingenious way of connecting other like-minded creatives, on Zoom. And I launched my podcast last year, On Air with Brandon J. And the question that I had for all of you, because it may not be just one has the answer to this, right? But what is the best way of creating that real engagement with other brands when you're looking for the right sponsors, when you've got a podcast that has versatility? It's not just about, music, even though I'm under categorized in music news and I've charted all over the globe and I'm on iHeart and all that good stuff. It's about purpose, right? Entrepreneurs, all things Hollywood, news, tech, technology. I'm doing a lot on AI. Like I'm asking a lot of my guests, like, what is their perspective on the writer's strike and things like that because of, should someone be stuck where, it's like a one-off, a one-time licensing and sync fee, and then they can use your likeness and your image in perpetuity. And it's been great to hear everybody's response. And I stand with everybody with the SAG after strike and all of that. But basically my question is, how do you build that value where the brand sees it? Because I've got the reach, I've got the content, it's quality. I've been on TMZ, the whole 9 yards. And, that's how I know you for years, right? Through Christine Peak and, family and all that good stuff. But how do we do that? Because, you're working with the Chick-fil-A's and the Coca-Colas, and these guys don't need any more exposure. I mean, they spent $875 million a year on their marketing budget globally. And that's why everywhere you go, you can't get away from Coca-Cola. And Chick-fil-A is brilliant with their customer service. And that's why they've been successful. If everybody ran their company like Chick-fil-A, all customers would be happy, right?
Yeah, that's right. Great question, bro. I think that one of the, if you don't mind, I'll take one little nab at that, just because I work with a lot of brands, and I think that and I'm just kind of matchmaking, right, between brands and influencers. So being someone who kind of hears from the brands, the brands are really, the brands are typically, and by the way, if any of our brand clients or anybody are here, feel free to chime in. Love to have your input on this. But I would say that, one of the core things is that, the brands want to find people who just really align with their brand. And I think that, when it comes to who the brand is, like who the brand really is, like, the core of it is like who, we always say, are they on brand, right? You've probably heard that term. But in the marketing world, we say, that influencer's on brand, that influencer's on brand for you. So, we kind of look at things, from a brand filter perspective. We'll say like, hey, the brand is really about these 5 core things. And if the influencer is kind of about these 5 core things, or the content is about these 5 core things, then those brand filters become important and be like, are they on brand or are they not? Well, what does it mean to be on brand? Well, here's like 5 things that the brand's really core about, and if we could, and we call them just brand attributes. 5 core brand attributes are what we call the brand filters. So like when I redid the Chick-fil-A kids meal program, 10 years ago, we created 11 filters for the new toys that we were developing. And so I created a stack of 11 filters. So every new toy idea at Chick-fil-A, I had my team judge based on these 11 filters, and they weren't ones I just created. They're ones I created with the head of marketing at Chick-fil-A. And we went through those and said like, hey, like that toy, cool idea. Is it on brand for Chick-fil-A, right? So we went through those, and I think that what's cool about a brand filter, and hopefully I'm not going too far off base, but I'm kind of getting to the core of it, of what it means to be on brand, because I think that that's really what's necessary, because you want to find people who just align with your brand. That's it, and you can have a brand that's like this, brand like this, like that. So my job to help, we'll do a campaign. I'll reach out to like 5,000 of you guys, right, on a campaign, 5,000 beauty influencers maybe. And then I'll have like 300, influencers that apply, that say like, hey, I want to be a part of that. I have to go through those 300, not me, my team, who's actually listening right now on this call. Thank you, team. They go through and they're like finding out, okay, are these influencers on brand? And then we'll curate from that 300, like maybe 100, to make the job easier, to find the ones that we think are the most on brand for the client. And then the client will then look at that and be like, you guys suck at your job, or you guys are awesome at your job. You guys, because
there you go.
All these influencers are not on brand for us, or you guys are great at your job. These influencers are on brand for us. So our job is to make sure they're on brand, right? But even still, when we pick out 100, they still will like be like, no, to like maybe like 10 different ones, and be like, okay, these 90 let's activate these 90, and then we'll go back and then activate those 90, and it's not really like for us when we're selecting influencers that align, it's really just the core is about brand alignment. And then there's some other things too that are important to remember, like, I mean, authenticity, good followers, good engagement, things like that. When it comes, and you guys probably know this, but it comes down to pricing with influencers. A good rule of thumb is, just a very generic rule of thumb is $100 per 10,000. So like, how much you could charge a brand to work with. But if you have a podcast, that's different. If you have a YouTube, those are higher. If you have a TikTok that's on fire, like you could charge higher. You can charge anything you want, really. As far as cost goes, you could ask for it. Whether the brand's willing to pay for it or not, is the question. So
yeah, I think
hopefully
it's a little bit. You're right on. Thank you so much. You answered my question to the fullest.
Was it too full? Sorry if it was too full.
No, it was good, man. I needed to hear this. And I think everybody
Brandon,
needs to hear it because...
you need to be an ambassador for a hair product because you got such good hair. You got so much hair. Like,
everybody says that.
I
used to be called
hair,
Elvis in school, so I'm trying to keep the sideburns a little shorter.
If you don't lock your door, man, you're gonna find me in the middle of the night sawing your hair off.
There you go, man. Let's go after Paul Mitchell or about Badal Sassoon.
No, that's cool. Well, hey guys, I know we're about to hit 11. I want to just open up to any last minute questions here, but I want to thank you guys so much. This has been such an honor. I mean, really, truly, like all you guys. How cool for this to be the first of these, but. You guys have so many incredible things you guys are doing. I'm super honored to be a small part of your journey. And at LaunchViral, we'll definitely be doing more of these. Did you guys like this? Is this cool? Is this like? Can I hear from you guys in the chat? Are these cool? Yay! All right, good. Yeah, and we'll be doing more of these. And then, if you're a participant and didn't get selected last time, it's just because, we had to pick like a handful. So I think we just went through and our team just kind of grabbed a few. Like you just saw now, we can go live, on these, with more people as we kind of get in the chat. But, we'll start doing these on a regular basis, I think. If everybody seems to like them, and then we'll keep the community together. And then I think it's gonna be really cool. We'll end up doing some special events. I think, in-person pop-ups in Atlanta, LA, Vegas, which are my 3 cities that our family is just in on a regular basis. So it's just easy for us. And I think we'll probably wind up doing like one bigger annual event down the line. I don't know if it's gonna be this year or next year. But I think that I have a vision for, bringing brands and influencers together, type conference, which I think would be really fun too. So thank you guys so much for being here. Any last thoughts or parting thoughts or questions? Again, please make sure you did put your information in the chat for everybody so you guys can all connect. And please support each other. This is just all about supporting creators and influencers as you guys are launching brands. And congratulations on all your epic work. This is, you guys are created something from nothing. It's fucking amazing. Pardon my French. It's amazing. So I'm proud of you guys. All right, much love, guys.
One.